kies en andere Esterhuizen.
Thank you, Coach. Any questions? Matt?
Rassie, your hand was forced by the absence of Billy and Faf at fullback and scrum half. Imro's Papier on the bench the previous 2 test matches. Ivan van Zyl starts. Can you explain why?
Yeah, I think it's an obvious question that a lot of people will ask. I just think conditions and the tactical way England play, Ivan is maybe a better fit for a start. I think Ambrose is a more instinctive player, which is great on hard grounds, and I think he'll definitely have impact in this game. But I thought in these conditions and the tactical way we want to play against England, Ivan is a better choice.
And then just a comment on Damian starting a test match for the first time at 50.
Yeah, I think we always had Willie Leroux available, and obviously that's a luxury to have. Luckily, Damian has been with us for most of the test matches now. I think he's very comfortable in the whole setup. Somewhere you have to start a test match, and I don't think it gets much bigger than Twickenham against England. And with the World Cup in mind, this is going to be such a valuable, not just for him, for the whole team. There's a few youngsters in the team, but he's going to play in front of a full house with lots of pressure and tough kicking games. So we learn a lot about him, and he deserves his chance.
Rassie, do you believe Ivan is versatile enough to be a factor in any conditions on Saturday?
Yeah, my experience from these conditions, you don't need a lot of versatility. You have to be very tactically, really smart, and you have to control things. Sometimes more of the boot, depending on what the weather does. And the way he's been training and playing with us, and especially in that semi-final against Western Province, he really did that well. So the two of them has been playing, coming along. Where I think Ambrose and Ivan will fill one another in nicely this weekend.
Julian?
Yeah. Can I just ask you, we've seen Willie Leroux with the squad here, and yet you can't pick him. I mean, does that annoy you? The fact that here he is, you've got a guy with your squad who's allowed to be released to your squad, and yet you can't play him on Saturday?
No, we know what the rules is. When we accepted the test match, we know what the rules is. So, can't annoy us after we've accepted that. So it is what it is. And again, it's I know it's old cliche, but it's opportunities, and it's a test match. We never want to lose a test match, but we'll learn some valuable lessons. And Willie has been helping us. He's been with us a few days, and he will join us on Sunday officially.
England's forwards are very experienced, just 10 caps in the back row, 4 test starts between 2 crops. Do you see a potential area of weakness there?
I wouldn't say weakness. I think maybe more not knowing them so well from our side, might be to their advantage. It's not people that you see every weekend and at test match level. So there's a few new faces that we haven't faced before. But doing our homework on them, they look quality players. I guess if I say they're thin there, they'll say between your 9 and 15 you've got 2 caps or 3 caps. So I wouldn't say that's a weakness. Me being involved in European rugby, when I coached Munster, all the Premiership teams got wonderful forward backs, and the moment we're going to underestimate them, we're going to be surprised.
Traditionally, though, that's an area where the Springboks like to impose themselves. Is that the plan again?
Yeah, even if the Vunipolas and those guys were playing, that's always where the game starts, and I guess, Eddie has good forwards in there. I've really been trying to study them up and get to know all of them, because I haven't seen them play a lot. And he would pick a team that's competitive up front. And obviously, if we don't match them up front, the back line will suffer the whole game. So yes, that will be an area which both teams will target.
Rassie, I make it 7 players from this 15 that last faced England at the last test in June. Do you expect the games to have a similar flow to the 3 in the summer, or do you think that the change of personnel will make it different?
Well, I hope the first 2 doesn't start as poor as it started. Then Loftus and Bloemfontein, where we were behind on the scoreboard very quickly. The third one was obviously that wet one, and playing here in the conditions today we trained in. We prepared for that pretty much on Saturday, and now we see it's going to be probably a little bit drier, so it's tough to predict here, but I think we're ready for both. Where they really outsmarted us at Newlands in the wet, we were outplayed on that day.
What problems did Tom Curry in particular pose to you over the course of the series, and have you adjusted anything to account for those threats?
Yeah, like I was just saying to the gentleman here, the moment you those new names, if you underestimate them, they tend to bite you. You know, like Curry, we didn't know that well. We knew he was good over the ball. No, he had a twin brother, but that's about all I knew about him. And then he really got stuck in there in the Newland Test match. He was one of the big reasons why we lost that Test match. I think he was man of the match as well. So, you know, for a young guy like that to step up and come to South Africa and do so well against a full Springbok team is really a tap on his shoulder. And that's why I'm very nervous for faces I don't know to say, you know, I think that might be a weakness. For example, the props. So yes, he's a quality player.
Rusty, if the results go across the whole autumn, go a specific way, the All Blacks might not end the year #1 in the world. Do you think that would be good for the game as a whole? Would it be give the other teams encouragement at the World Cup? Obviously, you had good results against them already, but you know, if the Boks a boost and maybe the game a whole a boost, if it's a different team #1 in the world at the end of the year?
Yeah, I think that world rankings is sometimes something that's it's tough to judge who's number 3, 4, 5. But I think the All Blacks are clearly #1. You know, I think even if they lose 1 or 2, you know, I think they're the number 1 team in the world, and I think they will go into next year the number 1 team in the world. So, like for example, we are talking now England. I think they're 3 or 4 places higher ranked than us, and we're talking it's going to be a close test match. So, I don't tend to listen too much to those rankings, and it will be good if some teams can challenge the All Blacks more, but they're clearly number 1.
Rusty, you've been on the roof with coloured lights and funny things like that. What do you make of Eddie Jones and his innovations like co-captains? And do you think that can complicate things more than solve the problem?
Yes, I'll tell you, to comment on what other coaches do is sometimes the wrongest thing one can do, because obviously, you know, I think if it's different cultures, it's different ways of doing things, and you know, he's a smart coach. You know, he's beaten the Springboks with a Japanese team, so I shouldn't sit here and comment anything that he's doing. No, he's obviously got some new staff in there. He's got some. I see Will Calling is now involved. So, you know, I think it's things he tries to fix within the team, and you know, if he's got good reason to do it, then he's probably doing it. So, yeah, that's the only thing I can say on that.
Everybody talks about the Springboks being a hugely physical threat. Is there any element of that you find a bit patronising, that there is a lot more to the Springboks game that we should be expecting to see on Saturday?
Oh, we're trying to not be just one-dimensional. I guess there's games, the first Test match against Wales and Washington, and you know, the one in Argentina, we really looked one-dimensional, and then there were games where we really, you know, got stuck in there, and all the attacking things seemed to work. So, yeah, we're a bit in the progress of evolving from just being a grunting, bulking, running over your team. So, but when the weather is like the weather we're in Cape Town and like the weather is today, probably that's where the game is going to be won or lost. If it's a nice dry day, hopefully, you know, can play the same like we did against the All Blacks in Australia and so on.
And if that's the perception of the Springboks, what do you think is how this England team looks to take on?
Yeah, I think size-wise, people always say that the South Africans are so big, but when the two teams run onto the field, you know, Atoje is a massive man, you know, Cruz is a massive guy, Sinclair is a big guy compared to, say, our props and Taites and Lucet. So I think it's a bit of a myth, because all rugby players are big nowadays, but yes, I think they're a quality team they picked, but there's a lot of unknown for us in that team. So yeah, it would be. I only like to comment afterwards, you know, because I really don't know all of those guys so well.
You'd rather face an England pack though, surely, with 2 props with 4 tests starts between them than otherwise.
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you, we played when the 2 brothers didn't play in Cape Town, they beat us. And so when they played the first 2, Vunipola, when he was playing, we won him the first 2 Test matches, and then the third one with a few no names there, like Curry and like the props, they beat us. So it's always dangerous to say something like that. It might look vulnerable from the outside, but you know, you get surprises there.
And Eddie Jones is under a little bit of pressure going into this match. You've been inflicted defeat, you've been under even more pressure. Is that something you think about at all when you go into a game like this?
You know about it and you read about it, and I mean, it's all out there. You know, 6 games ago I was massively under pressure, you know, when we lost to Argentina and Australia, and that's the way it goes in this job. Look, you can't all of a sudden forget that he won 23 on the trot or 22 on the trot. I guess when you get into a losing streak, it becomes a little bit of a habit. But the last game they played, they won. You know, so that they will take the positive out of that. But yes, he'll feel the heat like all of us do when we lose a few games.
Rusty, just coming back to your team, 4 locks in the 23. What's thinking around that?
Yeah, I think if you put down the team like that, you immediately go just like there's 4 locks in the team. But Peter Steff, he played most of his game at that blindside flanker. He'll probably only play 40 or a little bit more or less there, and probably then move to loose forward. And we're just phasing Lude Jager back into test match rugby, and then obviously we've got Erg here. So when you look at the team and you don't count Peter Steff as a loose forward, it looks like 4 locks. But he slots into 7 flanker very easily.
In Europe, we're not used to seeing Vermeulen at number 7. What role would he perform in your team there?
Yeah, when I coached him, he always played 7, way back in the Cheetahs and in the beginning at the Stormers. So he's very comfortable at blindside flanker. Warren is obviously, a top class 8th man with a lot of leadership, and he brings into the team, helping out Sia with Duane. There's actually quite a few captains in the who should be captain the team before in the pack. So he'll be comfortable there. And to be honest with you, it's only in scrums where guys really pack in their positions. The rest of the game, in line-outs, in kicking game, the roles are so vastly the same that it's only been scrums where he'll pack down at 7. Other parts of the game we'll use him as sometimes as 8 and so on.
Rosie, how wary is South Africa as a team and a nation playing Eddie Jones in England after what happened in 2015?
Yeah, that's why I'm so. Your words could always bite you, like that Japanese test match. I think there was one of the days in South Africa every single person would know where they sat or where they were when they watched that game. He's a sharp coach. He knows a lot about South Africa. He helped us win the World Cup in 2007. He knows our players, the playing style, but we've played in June. We played in June against them. So it's only 4 or 5 months down the track. So we're used to one another, the two teams.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.